Are you a noob at Terraria? Is everyone else progressing significantly faster than you? Then this video is for you. Welcome to TerrariaBasics. First off, creating a new character. Journey is like creative mode, except you have to earn enough of an item to actually get infinite. Classic, I greatly recommend by the way. You only drop money on death. Medium core, drop items on death, which is a bit more brutal. Hardcore characters die for good on hardcore, which is horrible, and I only recommend if you have a lot of experience in this game. Character, as you can see, is also highly customizable. For the sake of the tutorial, I'll call him tutorial character. Now for the world. I would do random, unless you have an experience in either one of these and you prefer one of them. I would also do expert, unless you don't have many experience in this game or games similar to it. The large, medium, and small worlds, they differ in terms of how far away you can go on each side of the world and how many items there are in the world. For the sake of video, I will call this tutorial world. First things first, cut a tree. If you're not even willing to cut a tree, leave this now, as only 86.5% of players have ever actually cut a tree in this game. Now for building a house. I would recommend doing this before you do anything else. And yes, you can place blocks on top of other blocks. Make sure your house has a chair, walls, a light source, and doors. All of this game is actually exploring the map to get more resources like metal to make an anvil, and a furnace, which you can use to get better equipment. And also build more houses to get every NPC that you'll ever get in the game. Always get the chests, you can use them for extra storage, and it doesn't cost metal after finding them. And place campfires for bosses, it keeps your health regen up by the way. I would just stay inside the house at night, unless you're mentally prepared to die constantly. Also be wary that your guide, he could leave the house on accident and open the door for you, thus letting the zombies in. The Eye of Cthulhu is the first boss you'll face. You can spawn him using the suspicious looking eye, which you can create with 6 lens from the Demon or Crimson altar, from the Corruption or Crimson. If at least one person has 200% HP, and there are 4 NPCs in the world, and the Eye of Cthulhu has not yet been defeated, then the Eye of Cthulhu will have a 33% chance of spawning every night. Assuming you've already explored some of the world and its caves, the first thing you'll need is Hermes boots, or any of its variations. This is almost required, especially on expert mode or master mode. There are 4 different classes: melee, ranged, magic, summon, and fishing. Okay, maybe I was kidding about the fishing part, but all the other classes are legit, I think. If you're like me and don't care about what class you use, you'll have multiple classes. The bow would be good for getting the boss, and a melee weapon would be good for destroying the tiny minions that also the boss summons. Another good thing to have is the sunflowers, which increase your movement speed and decrease enemy spawn rate, which could be useful during boss fights. Some of the best weapons for the Eye of Cthulhu are the demon bow with frost arrows and the light spin. However, you can use magic weapons or summoning weapons, however they aren't nearly as useful in pre-hard mode. Are you wondering what pre-hard mode is? Well, basically it's the easy part of the half of the game. You have to defeat the wall of flesh to get past it and get to the hard part, called hard mode. To summon the wall of flesh, you simply need a guide voodoo doll, which you get from killing voodoo demons which spawn in the underworld. After throwing the guide voodoo doll in lava, depending on what side you are, the wall of flesh will chase you to the other side of the world. That is, until you kill it at least. I'll go over how to defeat the wall of flesh, but first I want to go over the corruption and the crimson. The corruption and crimson are two variants of the same thing. You can only have one per world until late game. The enemies in these biomes drop items that you need to spawn their respective bosses to be able to get new items to progress in the game. The other way to spawn them is through destroying the shadow or the crimson orbs. These orbs can be found underground. After defeating the boss, two of the most known ways to defeat the wall of flesh are getting the bee's knees by defeating the queen bee or making molotovs. Most of the pre-hard mode bosses are optional. However, if you defeat Skeletron, you will be able to get the muramasma, which you get from the dungeons. This can be used with many other swords to eventually make the Zenith the best sword in the game. That is only endgame though. Always get cactus armor. Why? Because it looks slightly cooler than wood armor, and it's better. Don't do what I just did. Make a helmet, because it's better. Some items you can only find randomly, like for example a wooden boomerang. If you find this, I recommend adding it with the fallen star to get a really good enchanted boomerang for 17 melee damage. One of the most game-changing aspects of the game is now you can have multiple sets of armor. Also know that each set of armor has a bonus. You can also have accessories, which give you extra bonuses. Also think of this as a lot more inventory room. You don't want to waste 5 lead or iron on your lead or iron anvil, then simply just wait till the merchant moves in by simply having 50 silver coins. I only have 45, so I can't show you right now, but the demolitionist, all you need is at least one of any type of bomb. That includes sticky bombs, or dynamite, or sticky dynamite, or grenades, or sticky grenades. Bombs can destroy tiles, or mass destroy enemies. For example, grenades can't destroy tiles, but they do a ton of damage. 60. So the demolitionist can be a good way to get a lot of bombs and destroy all the tiles in the crimson or corruption, thus being able to destroy the orbs and the ore. That's enough explanation for the NPCs. As you can see, they can be really useful throughout the whole game. I take it back a bit, the summon weapons are actually a bit good during the early game, just in terms of protecting you, in case you're trying to dodge the enemies. However, they aren't that powerful early game. Honestly, fishing's just another way of playing the game, as it can completely take over pretty much everything, because you can get ore out of it and better tools. However, it is required to get all the materials to make the fish finder, to make the PTA, to make the cell phone, all made at the Tinkerer's Workbench. You get the Tinkerer's Workbench from the Goblin Tinker, and also the cell phone is completely achievable pre-hard mode. One of the things they added, and I really wanted back when I played on Xbox 360, is mounts. Mounts can be used to quickly maneuver the map, and are a game changer when it comes to boss fights. One of my personal favorites is the slime mount, which you get from King Slime in pre-hard mode. One of my strategies is to keep hopping on top of the Eye of Cthulhu while you're on the King Slime mount, and you'll keep bouncing. Here's a standard boss arena. You see I have campfires, sunflowers, and a bit of room to move around. I would also recommend a grappling hook, as this allows you to quickly move up to dodge the boss really quickly if you need to. A cloud in the bottle, or sandstorm in the bottle, could greatly help you jump over the boss too. Always bring potions. That includes healing potions to heal you, iron skin to give you more defense, and swiftness potions for speed, and also archery potions for 20% increased archery damage. If you don't have enough potions, or not enough flowers and stuff to make them, then simply start growing your own. It's important to start doing this early game so you always have enough plants and potions for your boss fights. Alright, that's the basics of Terraria. Feel free to put anything I missed in the comments, and if you disagree on something I've said. This is my first video, so I apologize if it's a bit unpolished. I hope to get better in the future though. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with any of your friends struggling with Terraria. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.